Hey y'all, my name's Matea Grace Twig. I'm 17 and this is the story of me. Do you feel that I've taught you any important lessons in life?
Taught me what type of friends to be around, because like all of your friends like you and like for who you are, not like for what you have, because you don't have a lot.
Wow, okay. What about you? Do you feel that I've taught you like how to be a good guy for a different girl or a good girl for you, stuff like that?
Yeah, because you always tell me like your problems, and that helps me get other people's problems.
So you feel like me having problems helps you in life?
Yep.
Okay. How do you feel high school is going to be for you? Like, do you think it's going to be hard, or you see where I've come from and you feel like it'll be good?
I feel like it's gonna be easy. It's just like every other school when you start out, but you get more what's the word into it after a little while.
More involved?
That word.
Okay. From my experiences, do you think I struggle with anything in particular?
Math.
Okay. Thanks for throwing me under the bus there, buddy. Well, on to the next person. When and where was I born?
You were born in my hometown, which is a very small town in Florida. It's called Titusville. It's on what's called the Space Coast. That's where the shuttle launches from when we had a shuttle program. And you were born on April 9th, the year 2000, which brought you a lot of extras because you're a millennium baby. So there's things that you actually get for free for the rest of your life.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. How did you come up with my name?
I knew that I wanted you to be named after your great-grandmother, whose name was Virginia Grace. So your middle name is Grace. And from there, I just started looking for names that I liked. And I came across the name Matea, which is Hebrew, and it means full of grace. So I thought it was a good companion, and I just liked that it was different.
What is your first memory of me besides being born?
My first memory of you is probably your features. Everybody who came to the hospital to see you and everybody who saw you after we went home all said how tiny your little features were and that you looked like a China doll. It looked like your eyelashes and your lips and everything were painted on because you had such long eyelashes and such pink little lips.
What different activities did I do as a kid?
You played soccer in the Fort Benning League for the little kids. We called it the Cat Herding League because it just looked like a bunch of little cats running around on the field because you guys were all on top of the ball and nobody could find the ball. And you did ballet for many years. You actually danced in the Nutcracker on several years. You did it for 2 years, and 1 year I actually started to do it with you, but then ended up not dancing in it at the end. But you really loved ballet, and you did very well at it.
Was I a bad kid?
You were never a bad kid. Like any kid, you always had your little things that, had to be told more than once. You don't like to clean your room. But generally, if you are told not to do something, then you pretty much listen, and you never give me too much lip or too hard of a time about it.
Can you think of a worst thing that I've ever done?
Worst thing you've ever done? Probably lie to me. You've been caught in a couple of lies, and you know that that is very dear and true to me. Trust is a big thing for me, and I've told all of you since you were little that it takes tons of time to build trust, but it only takes 2 seconds to destroy it. And once you've destroyed it, it takes forever to build it back. So lying is something that I do not tolerate.
What makes me unique?
You are unique in many ways. You have a very kind and compassionate heart, which is not very common in young people today. But you have a huge heart, especially for those with special needs. You don't like anybody to be mistreated or bullied or separated from the crowd and made to feel like they're less than something. And you go out of your way to make sure that that person feels included. And I've always loved that about you.
Did we ever do any mommy-daughter activities?
I've done your nails. We've gone to the salon and gotten nails done. You liked to play dress up when you were little. We've always done arts and crafts. I'm not too girly. You're pretty girly, so that's made it difficult, but we do like to play games together and, like I said, make different things and come up with creative things and cook. because I do like to cook. I just don't like to do other girly things. But teaching you how to cook has always been fun.
How did I struggle with the divorce at home or at school?
It didn't really affect you at school too much. And at home, it wasn't too big of a factor. Your dad was military, so he was gone a lot. He was actually gone for almost 2 years straight, up to the point of us getting a divorce. So you were used to him not being in the house, but I think that, just the idea of him not being around ever took a little bit of getting used to. But you seemed to handle it pretty well.
How did I adjust to getting new families?
You seem to adjust pretty well to your brothers that are here in Columbus, your stepbrothers from your stepdad. You guys all get along very well. You make a very good blended family. Everybody thinks that you have been brother and sister your whole life. You had a little bit more struggle, I think, adjusting to your stepbrothers from your dad's side with his new wife. But I think some of that was just how people were introduced to you. Me and your stepdad slowly introduced you guys. We didn't just dump a new relationship into your lap. We dated for a while before we even introduced you guys to each other, and then we just introduced you slowly and let you guys kind of warm up to each other at your own pace, rather than just you coming home one day and all of a sudden having extra brothers in the house.
How did I get help during the divorce?
I took all of you guys to see a counselor when I first told you that I was getting a divorce, and let you guys talk to them and share any concerns or fears that you had with them. And the counselor actually said that you guys seemed to be coping very well, but that if you needed to go back, you could go back, but they didn't see that you needed one. You guys all seemed to adjust fairly decently. I mean, as smoothly as possible. I mean, for a rough situation.
What scared you the most about me becoming a teenager?
I think the thing that scares me the most for teenagers at all is just how in your face everything is. Technology is a very dangerous thing, and kids don't realize how detrimental some of the mistakes that they can make, and they make it in 2 seconds without really thinking it. We growing up had to think about stuff for a long time before we could do something. You couldn't take a picture and instantly send it to somebody that instantly you regret as soon as you're done. You had to take to the store, develop it, and go pick it up, and so you had lots of time to rethink that split-second decision that unfortunately you guys have too readily. And it scares me what the outcome of some of these decisions that are being made as teenagers is going to have as an effect on your guys' lives as an adult.
What was your first reaction when I first drove you?
It was very scary. Not so much for you as much as I grew up in a very, very tiny town with very few cars on the road, and to live in Columbus is still scary for me even when I'm driving. So to be in the car with somebody who I know has no clue what they're doing is terrifying.
Do you feel like I'm a good driver now?
You do very well for the amount of driving that you've had, but it still scares me to have you on the road because I don't know about your reaction time to the crazy drivers in this town.
Do you wish you could change anything about me?
I wish that I could change your confidence level. I wish you had more confidence in your level of knowledge and level of skill. Sometimes I think that you are way too tough on yourself a lot of the times, and you don't cut yourself enough slack and let you just be a kid.
How has Hardaway affected me?
Hardaway has presented some experiences in your life that have really tested your ability to problem solve and to accept things, but I think that you overall have done a very good job of handling those. Several of them you actually handled without me even having to give you any coaching or prompting, and you did exactly what I would have told you to do, so I think that it's really helped you grow up.
Do you think that IB is good or bad for me?
IB, if I had to say overall, definitely is a good thing for your drive, and I know that you're learning a lot of things from it. I think sometimes that you expect way too much out of yourself, and that kind of compounds some of the unrealistic expectations that you set for yourself. You, I think, measure yourself to your older brother way too much, and he was somebody who was very self-motivated and very driven, and he did graduate third in his class. And I think that you feel like that if you don't do the same, that you're going to disappoint those around you, which is not the case, because you were very smart in your own right, and I wish that I could get you to understand that.
How do you feel I fit in?
I think that you fit in pretty well. You've got quite a good group of friends. You've had the same friends for most of high school, and some of them even back as far as junior high and elementary school. You're very loyal to your friends, and I think that you've done pretty well as far as that in high school. Your teachers speak highly of you, so I think you do pretty well on the fitting in part.
How do you feel about my future plans?
Future plans. I really like that you have such a heart for special needs, and I know that your brother kind of helps with that since he is special needs. But I love your passion and drive to gain more knowledge and how to help kids develop at the best rate possible when they have these extra challenges. And I really love that's the future that you have set up for yourself, and I hope that that is the path that you take, because I see you excelling greatly in that. I know that you tell us you're never moving out. I don't know how I feel about that. I would like you to get your own place. You can come over and visit. But I love that you love me enough to stay with me forever.
Do you think I'll be a good adult?
I think you'll be an excellent adult. You have proven many times over that you, when you put your mind to it, can make very wise decisions. You've definitely got some growing up to do, but I think that overall you will succeed and become a very good adult.
How do you think I'll be when I have kids?
I think that you're going to be a very compassionate mother who's very involved, and that your kids are going to be very lucky to have you as their mommy.
Thanks, Mommy.